Here are 3 different ways to finally get those tight hamstrings to release. It's not always about just stretching harder, sometimes it's about stretching smarter. So let's dive into these 3 tips, and the best part is that you can actually use most of these tips anytime you're stretching the back of those legs. Engage your quadriceps. Here is a tip that most people overlook when they're really trying to get the most out of their hamstring stretches, which is actually to engage your quadriceps, the muscles right here on the front part of your thighs. And you might be thinking, well, why would I want to engage something when I'm actually wanting something in my legs to release? The front part of your thigh, your quadricep, and the back part of your thigh, your hamstrings, are actually paired together. So when you are in that forward folding posture, stretching out the backside of your legs, just gently engage those quadriceps and you'll notice that you can come a little bit deeper. This engagement here helps encourage those back part of your legs, your hamstrings, to release even more. But here's a pro tip. Don't engage those quadriceps to 100% of your strength. Maybe 30, 40, 50%. That way, you're just encouraging the back part of your legs to release rather than having everything tense up. Hold your stretches longer. To release your hamstrings, this is a tip you might not want to hear. But the brutal truth is you're probably going to need to actually hold that pose for longer than you normally would. But what we need to watch out for is that we don't want another part of our body to be impeding our process and our progress in this. If you've tried to hold a regular forward fold for any amount of time, you might notice that, yeah, you're getting a stretch in your hamstrings, but your lower back is tending to pay the price. And so you're going to want to come out of this pose if your lower back starts to hurt. So I would suggest propping yourself up on a blanket, having it relatively low or even higher. And then when you sit on your blanket here, your back can be a little bit straighter as you come down. And now you're going to isolate more of the stretch in your hamstrings, and your low back won't be calling for you to come out of the pose too early. When you eliminate those other distractions, you can actually be more comfortable, you can hold the pose for longer, and you can really get in touch with your breathing that helps you just deepen and release those legs with a lot more ease. And if you want a full class where we do a deep dive into releasing your hamstrings, we cover all the tips that we do in this video and a lot more, then simply click on the card here above or click on the link in the first pinned comment below. It's a comprehensive class that helps to really loosen up those hamstrings and find some relief. Include complementary postures. For releasing tight hamstrings, there is something seemingly unrelated we need to discuss. You have got to include other complementary poses in your yoga practice to be able to really release your hamstrings. Sure, you might have tight hamstrings, but if your glutes are tight, your hips are tight, your lower back is tight, then it's kind of like you're fighting an uphill battle. If your hamstrings are tight, then you're really going to need to also include some type of twist to loosen up your lower back. You're going to want to add some things in to stretch out through your glute, and it's going to be super helpful to release through your hips as well. Oftentimes our bodies don't have just an isolated problem that exists in a vacuum all by itself and is unrelated to the rest of our bodies. We actually need to look at our bodies as a whole and really start to stretch out and loosen some of those neighboring areas so that it gives our target trouble area the best chance at truly releasing. Having a well-rounded practice of stretching and balance and strengthening will really help to bring everything onto the same page so that any specific problem you have really has its best chance of finally releasing and letting go. Again, if you'd like the full class, go ahead and click on the video here. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in a video soon.